shut up. Okay? So if you do not have money, for example, people talk about Africa, right? Say Africans are poor. Well, listen, why is Africa considered poor and miserable? And yet, it has what? The most what? Gold, the most resources in the world. All right, now we are here talking about those people who are migrating from South America, right? Why are they considered poor and miserable? Because they don't have what? Why is everybody moving out here? Physical. Come on, tell me, what is that? Let me tell you why people are moving out here. People are moving out here because there's no opportunity. Okay? Now, the reason why you're able to come to school is not because you're very smart, not because I was very smart, it's because you have access to what? Capital. Finances. Whether it is student loans, or it is grants, whether it's a job that you have. In fact, I would predict that the reason why everybody goes to school, mainly, most people go to school, is to advance themselves. For what purpose?
Money.
Or is there a person here who is so humanitarian that they're going to school to do humanitarian work? Any one of us? No. The reason why we are advancing ourselves is so that we can have access to what?
Gold.
Gold is money. Money, money, money. But what is gold? It's nothing but a rock. Actually, I can tell you there's no difference between gold and the rocks outside. But why is it that gold is so important? Why?
The value.
What value?
Sparkling, looking
Diamonds are even better, right?
Yeah.
Diamonds are much more special. In fact, women love diamonds. A lot. A lot. But they make some men go broke trying to get a stupid diamond. Really? Right? Why is gold so important? How did we arrive to this point where gold is king? For example, U.S. has the most reserve of gold. 8,125 tons of gold. It's a lot of gold. Why?
just in case they run out of money.
Power.
The reason why gold is so important is not because gold is, there's no difference. Honestly speaking, let me tell you something. There's no difference between gold and a rock outside in the real world. The reason why gold is important is because of the next very important thing in life. Communication. They have succeeded historically telling us that gold
is the best.
Because in the absence of us being told over and over and over again about gold and how important gold is, if, for example, somebody got hold of macadamia nuts, you know the nuts? Somebody wrote a very good column and said to the people, if you eat these nuts, you're going to live forever. And some scientific study somewhere, out of the blue from Mars, Pluto, somebody came up with some idea and told us, hey, listen, you know what? This is it. I'll bet you every one of us would like to have it. Is that true? Oh yeah, we would. So therefore, these two things, communication and gold, any powerful person in the world, the reason why people are powerful, who are the most powerful people in the world? If you do research, you figure out that the reason why they're important, they're powerful is because Bill Gates owns Microsoft and has historically been able to make a lot of money. If Bill Gates was an African from Kumba somewhere, middle of nowhere out there, without any money, you think anybody would think about it? Oh, good careless. Money, money, money. Remember that? There's a song that used to be an old song.
Cardi B.
Huh? By who's this guy? An old song. Money, 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 money. That song. Who sung that song? Huh? I think it's those guys. Long time ago. Great song.
Yeah.
Used to be played by Donald Trump in his Apprentice. Is that it? That was the opening, right? Theme song. Yeah. Money, money, money. Now, gold and what? Communication. The reason why communication is important is because every one of us, for example, right now we all have cell phones, right? And we are always looking at our cell phones, right? Listening to some crappy things somebody out there is telling us is so important. In fact, we spend so much time on these things. Why? Because we have been convinced historically to believe that if you do not have this gadget, you will be left behind. But is that true? Is that true? I don't think so. And yet, every one of us has this, right? Suppose you put it down for about a year. Will your life become better or worse? What do you think? Better? Why?
Yes, it would be worse.
I think it would be worse.
Would it be worse for you?
Because everyone's communication is based off of cell phones nowadays, so you'd be like,
So let me ask you a question. Today you report on your phone, right? And you looked at it almost, what, 70% of the time? Or 100%? No, 70%. Because you have to keep some time out for bathroom. Some people take it. Now, if I ask you today, what benefit did you gain from being on your phone? How much money did you make today out of being on your phone? Because this is where you're going. It's where we all go. We're going towards gold, right? This is it. If you don't have money, it's all. Look at the Bahamas. See that Dorian thing that showed up there? It's all messed up out there. And the reason why U.S. is able to help them is because U.S. has what? Has money. Helicopters, water, it's money, it's gold. But the problem is this. If CNN, Fox News, ABC, NBC, those newscasters do not go there with a camera and continue to show us the devastation of that island, what's going to happen? Nobody would care. Nobody would care. Those people might as well be on the surface of the moon all weekend. They'll die, miserable lives out there. Water, food. The reason is because two things. First of all, they do not control the gold, and they don't control what? Communication. The only reason why we know about the fact that it destroyed their country is because some character showed us on the news. Is that true? When they went there with a camera and showed us that they were having problems, that they don't have money. So if we don't give them assistance, perish. In fact, you will forget about them in a week. Go back to our own lives, live our own lives, our objectives. See, therefore, as you go to school, life, gold, you don't have it. You're a nobody on earth. And I'm serious about that. Now, she told me she was on the phone. How much gold did you make? You told me it was important to have this gadget. How much value did this gadget give you today? Go ahead. Anything of value?
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Tell me what. Tell us what.
I wouldn't be here, like I wouldn't take the chance of coming if I didn't know I had someone to watch my daughter, so I'd have to call, make phone calls, so ask my parents.
So what happened to those people who didn't have a cell phone in 1975? And
They
had
made
to go to
schedules.
and then they had to go to school.
They made schedules.
Make schedules. See what I mean? So the issue is not, this is not the thing which helped you. What helped you is that you communicated with somebody. And they agreed to come and watch who?
My daughter.
So without communication, what the gadget is what? It's communication. Yeah. Having said that, the question is, how do we then develop so that we are able to have gold and to communicate? That is a question. People don't take communication seriously, but it is a foundational principle of you and I as human beings. You have a daughter. People have children, right? And wives. Why do people fight? Girlfriends and boyfriends, everybody else. Everyone. Right? Right? So I come home from work. I'm so happy. I mean, come out from the car. I'm whistling in the car. I'm singing some songs, old, great blues songs. Oh, happy I am. Working, I've been able to make some gold, right? Then get out of my car, whistling. It's a beautiful song. And then this wonderful lady that I call my wife opens the door, stands right there at the door. And she said, yapping about milk that I did not bring. What happens to my happiness?
Squashed.
Let me tell you, my happiness, my sense of self, my joy, my very nature as a man is completely put on the ground and crushed. And I'm looking at her and wondering, why in the world do we live together? Because of what? Communication. Sometimes she doesn't have to say a word. Doesn't have to open her mouth. Just have to just stand up there and just give me a look. It's over. My life is over. Communication. Girlfriends and boyfriends. I mean, you guys, oh, let me say, it's not all bad about this thing. Okay? I'm not trying to disqualify this thing. I'm trying to show you how important communication is. What is communication? Because I've gone to YouTube to watch these characters. Eh? You know, what do you call it? Road rage. You ever seen those road rage stuff? Let me tell you something. There is no way in the world that somebody wakes up and all of a sudden you're walking down the street and then you meet a guy and you start punching him. It never happens. Never. You have to be insane, right? even people who are insane, they don't do that, right? There has to be something. Communication, right? Here I am, driving down the road, very nicely, very happy, whistling my beautiful music. And then this insane character next to me passes me, comes right in front of me, and puts his brakes on. What happens to me? Huh? The guy did not talk to me. Honestly, I didn't even see him. But he stops. You see these characters? They get out of the car. Yeah? Mad as hell. Go to the window. Eh? And communication is so powerful. And it drives even people who are sane insane. Because my question is, why in the world would somebody punch a car? You see these people kicking the car? You know what I mean? They're just kicking the cars. Punching the car. And the guy who drove is right inside. That's a state of absolute insanity. And yet, it is done by people. Why? Communication. Because somehow the car communicated that this guy doesn't have any respect for me. How the car does that, I don't know, but it does. We are creating in such a way that we are affected by that which is in the environment. And people think they have control over themselves. Let me tell you the truth, we do not. You see those characters who are punching cars? There's no difference between those characters and me. Because sometimes I have honestly yelled at the car in front of me. They can't hear me, but I don't care. I'm just yelling. You crazy! Who taught you how to drive? Go back to your mother. All that kind of stuff. Right? The guy cannot hear me, but I am screaming and shouting. Madness? No. The nature of what? Communication. I saw on YouTube one time, girl fighting with her boyfriend. Did you know that the majority of people who are dumped on the highway going west towards California, they are dumped by their girlfriends or their boyfriends? Get together, honestly speaking. If you want to know a girl or your man loves you, you know that you can stay together before you marry them. Get in a car and drive together to California. It's a long way up. Right? Here she is in the car, here he is in the car, and we are very different people. She wants to stop every single 100 miles or go to the bathroom. Every time he sees McDonald's, he wants to stop. Right? And people get so angry, they start fighting in the car, and the woman stops, says to this crazy character next to her. Crazy, by now he's crazy. Before, when they start the journey, it was lovey-dovey, oh baby, honey, all those kind of nonsensical stuff. But by the time halfway through the journey, he is a monster. He is your enemy. How did he turn from being a lover to a monster? Something happened. And what happened? Something was communicated. And he doesn't have to say it. Sometimes it's, can you stop please? Let's go to the bathroom. A very important human need. But if they do it 3 or 4 times, and you know that you need to be in California, you start getting irritated. Get angry, and all of a sudden they open the door. One guy, that's what happened to one guy. His wife was driving. She got so angry. He's screaming. She's screaming. They're screaming. She stopped. And she said to him, honey, I don't know what's going on with the tire in the back. And the guy got out. Went to check the tire. She took off. Didn't come back. I was stuck out there. I went to California. communication. So if you want to live life happy, you have to master what? Communication. If you don't have communication, my friends, you will not succeed in life. Let me tell you why you won't succeed. Because every single person who is going to hire you is going to base his hiring on what he thinks about you, what you communicate. My young man, great American young man, decided, you know what? Hey, after high school, he thought, man, sir, he said, I'm going to celebrate. I said, you are? He said, yes. I said, how are you going to celebrate? He said, I'm going to have a mohawk, right? You know those mohawk things? Huh? He said, I'm going to have a mohawk. I said, fine. Why not? Okay? And then he said, I'm going to have some tattoos. Why do you want some tattoo? He said, the body is a canvas. That was his argument. Great argument. Huh? So he went out there, got a beautiful tattoo of vine on his head. You know, he's adopted him. His mother is a lady from Texas. So his father has some blood, Indian blood, some good young man. So take him. Help him out. Graduated from high school, so he did get this. Then he told me, sir, I need a job. I said, fine. Go find a job. So he applied several jobs. And he came back and he told me, sir, something is wrong with this world. I said, what's wrong? I mean, they all looking at my hair. Like, why are they looking at your hair? I don't think they will give me a job because of the way I look. I said to him, what did you expect? You see what I mean? He entered into this place, he's very well dressed, but this guy, and most people who have money, are a little bit older. See what I'm talking about? Because you can't have money unless you inherit it from your father, if you're young, right? So people with money, they are a little bit older. They've gone through the process of accumulating gold, right? Because you can't just go around and pick money. Let me tell you, there's no money somewhere lying around. Don't be cheated. It's not gonna happen, right? So they are older and they have different value systems. They see the world differently. Is it wrong? No. My young man told me he wanted to have mohawk. I didn't care. Hey, that is what he wants to do. Fine. But I told him, the world, people communicate, and the way you communicate, they perceive things differently. So he was so angry at me. Saying, you guys think the wrong way. There's nothing wrong with the mohawk. There's nothing wrong with my hair. I can do a very good job, even though I look like a peacock. I said, you're right. And if it was me hiring you, I know you. Grown up with you, I know your values, I know how intelligent you are. Hey, be in my house, for goodness sake. If I did not hire you, that is a disqualification of me. Is that true? Yeah. Right? If you can't hire your son or your daughter, let me tell you, something is drastically wrong with you. That means you failed in your responsibility to prepare them for the world that requires gold and what? Communication. So I could hire you. But let me tell you, those are the characters. Every time you look at the door and you open the door, what they see is a mass murderer. They're thinking this guy is going to get a gun, come back and shoot us all. Because he doesn't know you. Doesn't know you. And therefore, communication, my friends, is very important. Your first appearance in a job interview is very important. Sometimes, in order for us to communicate and survive and enjoy our life, we have to submit ourselves, okay, on other people's value systems. Let me say that again. in order for us to communicate and to survive, we have to submit ourselves to what? Other people's what? Value systems. There's nothing wrong with that. Actually, that's what couples do all the time. Every one of us has a mother, right? Anybody else who doesn't have a mother? Who just basically dropped from space? No. We all have a mother. And whether the father is there or not, we have a father. That's the way it is. To accept reality. And so, give you one more example before I go into the technical details of communication. This couple, man and his wife, lived together for 25 years. And they had a problem. The issue was toilet paper. The man wanted the toilet paper to come from the top. You know how you have a toilet paper and it comes from the top? The woman wanted the toilet paper to come from the bottom. Okay? And it bothered them. Right? And they forgot the fact that, honestly speaking, right? You do not need that stupid thing on the wall for the toilet paper to do its job. It doesn't have to be hooked in some straight. You see those things that they have? Those things like that, right? And then the toilet paper is in here, and then you pull it. It's not important. Is it important? No. You don't need those things that hold the toilet paper. You can put it on top of the sink. You can put it in the kitchen, so that on the way to the toilet you pick it up. Go out there, on the way back, come back and do what? Put it out there. The stupid paper will do its job either way. Right? But she's refusing. You know why? Because we have been told by these people who are very smart communicators and they know how to make money that we have to have that thing on the wall so that we go to Walmart, Home Depot, Amazon and buy that thing. Buy it and put it in our house. We have been programmed. Believe it or not. Isn't that true? Yes. I mean, ask you a question. What role does that thing play in the activity of the toilet paper? Absolutely nothing. See, in philosophy, that's what we do. You make analysis. Because most of the things, let me tell you, are completely useless. But we have been told by these guys, and somebody has made so much money. They have, I heard that Trump, he loves gold. Eh? Trump has a golden thing there that holds toilet paper. But let me tell you the truth, after he poops, he does the same thing that you do. With your toilet paper on top of that thing, it don't make no difference. But even him has been duped into believing that you need gold and silver, all this stuff that they have. Because let me tell you, Africans, they don't have those things. They don't even have toilet paper, so. Those people, cage men, they didn't have toilet paper. They're out there, did their thing,
And what?
they didn't even use leaves. They just found some grass and moved out there.
That's awful.
Just hope there's not some nails on it. So here they are, woman and his wife, they're in the bathroom fighting over how that stupid thing is supposed to be. And their son listens to them fighting, yelling, "You can't do that. Oh, I hate you." You hate each other because of toilet paper? So the son had this crap, this noise. Am I allowed to use that word, crap, in this class?
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much. Nonsense. They're fighting over this stupid thing. And he comes at the door and he looks at his parents and says, "If you hate each other that much because of toilet paper, you might as well just go separate ways, right? Seriously. It's not worth it. Nonsense. Right? Now they are affecting the life of this young man. He's traumatized forever. Maybe he will never use the toilet paper because of that. Because we fail, my friends, we fail to make analysis of things to understand. Because if we do and make analysis of things, let me tell the truth, we'll live a much better and easier life. Now, those people who live up there in Africa, somewhere called Canada, somewhere in the area, they don't wear any clothes. You know? Just walk around, just have some things hanging, leaves. And yet, they don't have any problem with that state of being. But let me ask you a question. Suppose those characters were seen walking down Michigan Avenue. Walking down Michigan Avenue, and you see these characters walking around naked. What would you think?
Police.
Well, the police, right? Right? Why is it different from them walking out there in Turkana without any clothes and walking downtown Chicago? What's the difference?
There's a lot of people with money down there in Chicago.
Yes. So with money in Chicago. I mean, why? I mean, think about it.
Because we were told that it's sexualizing.
Because it's wrong. We have been told that you can wear a bikini in California, right? By the beach. All those ladies just walking around with their buttocks hanging everywhere, right? With a string, right? Are you with me? And when you go to California and you go to the beach and you see these people wearing those things, do you complain? Does anybody call the police? Is it morally wrong? And yet, the same women, they can't walk downtown Chicago wearing those things, even in the summer. There's some places they will not be allowed to enter in. What made them different? I thought they're the same human beings, for goodness sake, go in California. Do they change when they come to the city? Mentally, somehow, mysteriously, they are transformed into these criminals, these crazies. No. Just saying. But somebody has done a very good job of what? Communicating. And they have told us you can't be seen your bikini downtown Chicago, but you can be seen with a bikini in California. See, therefore, that communication is so essential. So, those people with gold are the most powerful people in the world. Next, most important people, powerful people are what? CNN people, ABC, NBC, those characters who see people coming from South America, and they take a video there, and then they shape what we think. Why? Because we're lazy. We don't want to think for ourselves. We don't want to make analysis of ourselves. Now, so the process of communication, you understand those two things? Okay? Are we good on that? Mm-hmm. So communication is important. Now how do we then become good communicators? How do we become good communicators? Because that's the key, right? Every one of you, you have to communicate. You really do. It's very easy to succeed in life if you know how to communicate. If you can be able to enter into an office and make your case, or you enter into that office And even without speaking, you make a case. You know, you can make a case by entering into an office without even saying a word. Enter into that office as if you know what you're doing. You know you don't know what you're doing. But you just enter into that office. That guy who's in the office, or even the secretary. You know, these secretaries are put there for the purpose of making sure your life is completely destroyed and it's messed up. That's what secretaries are. Did you know why secretaries are there? Why do you think these CEOs and these managers have secretaries? To make sure you don't get into that office. Because you go into an office, the first person you find is that lady there. Right? Now, she fought with her husband yesterday night. And her child was crying all night. She didn't sleep. She is in a very bad mood. So, when you enter there, even though you're young, she looks at you and she thinks, this is my husband again. Coming to this my life. She refuses to open the door for you to see the boss. So you have a responsibility to prepare for that. How do you do that? First of all, you got to understand communication involves what we call beings. In simple terms, human what? So it is important for you to realize that every single thing you do, first of all, has to do with the fact that you yourself are a man or you're a woman. And you have certain features. Your state as a human being is foundational to the process of communication. Why do I say that? The reason is because of the fact that if you, for example, I worked in Health First, it's the largest healthcare provider in Brevard County. I was a maritime medical liaison, doing my doctorate, a job there. Well, Health First hired only people from Central Florida. People who came from the University of Central Florida, mostly, even the nurses. All right? I was not from Florida. Right? I'm not a native of Florida. Not go to UCA for school. I went out there in Chicago. I went to school out there. I was the only person who was international. Right? Because I'm a Native American. I don't think you didn't think I am a Native American, did you? How did you know I'm not? See what I mean?
Your accent.
My accent, and also what?
Features.
My features. Do I look like a Native American to you? Like a Tomahawk Indian? No, I don't. You look like a Tomahawk Indian, no, you don't. So you got to understand, you're a human being. And human beings use the 5 common senses in their existence. So whether you like it or not, my brothers and my sisters, I may call you that. The first thing that people are going to do, you are communicating who you are without even saying a word. Look at you and they'll say you're white. So if it's a black company, they're going to start looking at you. They're going to go start in their mind creating these negatives. Why they don't want to hire a white person? from Mexican descent, they will automatically. Let me tell you, it's just the way it is. And if I am black, African, look at me. First of all, they don't know whether I am a black American or not. They don't know who I am. But then I open my stupid mouth, they realize, hoops, an accent. Yeah, is there anything wrong with that? No. 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 Again, we have been told historically to believe that there's something wrong with me identifying you with your race. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong. There's nothing. What's wrong with being white? Nothing. Black, yellow, green. It's beautiful. But we have been told by those communicators that there's something wrong with our natural state. We have it. Is that true? Yes, it is true. But if they have never communicated to us, there's no difference. There's no difference. So you're a human being, and in communication, first of all, you need to actualize that about yourself. Accept the reality of your humanity in order for you to be a good communicator. In other words, when I'm going into a Korean shop, right? I know who I am. I'm a human being. I know who they are. They're human beings. And there is a perspective that they have about you and about themselves. Very important. But if you are able to overcome this communicated idea and theory, and you approach yourself only from the factor of being a human being, you have won the first battle. Let me say that again. If you're able to overcome the historical communication every one of us have faced, have been told, these are Koreans, these are Chinese, these are blacks, these are white, yellows, these are greens. If you are able to overcome that and only approach your communication theory, principles, practice from the fact that we're all human beings, are different. Let me tell you, what's the difference? You think because you're from Turkey, your wife is not going to give you a hard time? Let me tell you, the suffering of women in this country is the same as the suffering of women in Africa and in South Africa. The only difference is that somehow, once in a while, when a woman in this country is giving birth, the husband shows up in the hospital and encourages the woman to give birth. It's the only difference. But the pain and the suffering and the misery, the only difference is that in Africa they don't show up. Oh, calm down. Calm down. No, see the trigger. Pain, suffering, misery. So they drop them at their hospital the day before, 5 days before, or whenever time she starts screaming and shouting. Drop them in the hospital and then they go home. And then they wait. Until later, when the baby is born, then they show up. Very happy to be a father. So the woman suffers, has pain, and the woman in America suffers and has what? The fact that the man is there doesn't change one iota. The woman is still going to scream and shout. That's the nature of the beast. But we have been told, oh no, those men in Africa are hopeless. They don't, let me tell you, it's all nonsense. To the woman, the same way people get angry here, the same way they get angry in Mexico. In we have road rage in Africa, the same way we have it here. The difference is, in Africa we don't have guns. We have things we call clubs. Huh? And they do the same damage to the car. But they spare the man. You know, a bullet will go through. These guys have beat up the car. Simple. Communication requires that you separate yourself. You have an intellectual strength. Your mind. That's why to be a communicator, to be a good communicator, to succeed in life, you have to be very, very, very strong. If you're one of these weaklings, cries all the time about everything, complains about it, you ain't gonna make it. The world is rough wherever you go. And you know it is. You know it is. There's some things, the way the world is formed, it is made in such a way that it is, I call it an independent kingdom by itself. The universal reality is an independent kingdom. When the Cassini, you know the Cassini? How many people know what Cassini is? Cassini, you know what? That probe that NASA sent out there to Saturn. Huh? When you go home on your mobile phone or computer, I want you to check that thing. It's phenomenal. I love those things. There's some buddies of mine who work at NASA. And I'm telling you, these things are phenomenal. So they send this probe up there. It's going for a while. And the way it goes through the Earth about twice. And then it gets some momentum from the Earth. And then the Earth, springs it out. And it goes to another planet. And then the other planet. It's just phenomenal. Until it reaches all the way to Saturn. And then they say that when it got there, right, took some pictures, sent it back, and then it continued to go. And before they sent it out completely, they told it to turn around and take a picture of the Earth. Then the Earth is this little tiny dot out there in the sky, doing its thing. Going around the sun. Let me tell you, there is absolutely nothing you and I can do. Just as it is. From the time you were born, your heart has been beating. You don't even think about it, do you? You don't control that thing. Right now you can be sitting here and then it decides to stop. And we call 911. You have no control. We have no control over the earth. And therefore, because we find ourselves in this earth with powers and authorities and laws that we can't control. Think about it. I live in Florida, in Mare Island, up there by the island. When they saw Dorian coming, they told us to evacuate. There's nothing they could do. What are they going to do? Nuke it? Did you hear Trump wanted to nuke that stupid thing? That's the story. But there's nothing you can do about it. There is absolutely nothing, my friends, you can do about the world, nature, and the laws of nature. Therefore, we find ourselves as human beings in a world that has its own laws and regulations. And those people who succeed are those people who understand that and try not to swim against those facts. First thing, you have to understand the basics of communication. a human being. Second, in communication, once you discover who you are, you know who you are, and you understand the world around you, you understand that the person next to you is human as you. He gets miserable, he gets tired, he's trying to bring up his children the same way as you are. Everybody trying to bring up this little child, feed it, clothe it, trying to love, next person. Love. All doing the same thing. Getting angry and frustrated at home. Getting angry and frustrated when you're driving down the road. Getting frustrated at Walmart. I hate going to Walmart. Because it seems as if every time I try to go to Walmart, every old Floridian who has retired from Chicago, they're out there enjoying the sun, they have nowhere to go, they all come and they walk right in front of them. Hopeless bags of crap. And they have to take their time, it has to be given, right? So I'm standing there and I'm saying to myself, I can't just walk around and get out of this place because they're gonna arrest me. So I have no alternative, because I need this. I need the bananas. I have to wait in line. I wait until they're done, and then I go and I pay. Are you with me? What makes me not getting angry at them is because I realize, you know what? They're just human beings like me, they woke up, they say to themselves, we need groceries. They went to the grocery store. They're buying some stuff. So it would be stupid of me to start messing my happiness and my joy up on the basis of the fact that they're just as human as I am. So once you realize that, then you have something we call, and I want you to write this, this is very important. Always have a thesis. Basically, a thesis, a complicated word, say you have to have the content. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? Okay. Get stopped by a policeman. Yeah, stop me. One thing I do when these policemen stop me, they stop all of us. We all find ourselves driving fast once in a while. Right? Even the policeman, when he's in his car, he also drives fast. So we are all victims of that. So when the policeman stops me, for example, when they stop, they say, my question is, who am I dealing with? A policeman? No. I'm dealing with a policeman. I'm dealing with what? With a man or a woman. So one of the things that I make sure is this, that I do not want him to stop me and then come to my window and regard me as a number, as an animal, or a tree, or a cow, or a sheep. Why? Because if he regards me as a human being, then we will communicate. If he doesn't regard me as a human being, we're not going to communicate. The problem with most people is that when they get stopped by a policeman, first of all, they have this stuff that they have been communicated to over and over and over and over and over again. A policeman stops you, it's over. You would die. They would shoot you, put you in prison. And so, when the policeman stops them, what happens? Once they get asked their driver's license registration, they remember the communicated idea, and then they drive off. You see these stupid people who drive off? Where are you gonna go? Huh? They call everybody out there. They call the sheriff, everybody, FBI, now I don't know, nonsense, right? So the first thing I do when they come to me, I have a thesis based upon the fact that we are human beings. What is the thesis at a particular time? How are you, sir? Says I'm fine. He says, how are you? I said, I'm fine. Right? It's incredible content. Because we have communicated, we're talking. Are you with me? And he says, you know why I stopped you? I said, yes, of course. I was speeding. Where are you going? And I tell him, this is what happened. Officer, huh? See this woman sitting next to me, caught my wife. She was yapping, screaming, and shouting at me. I forgot about the speedometer. Before, of course, I stopped. I told her, shut up. She said, no, I wasn't there. It's all for you. You know what I mean? I'm telling you is this. You approach it from a human being and then make sure you have what? Thesis, content. What are you going to talk about with this guy? What are you going to talk about? Are you going to start and your content will be screaming and shouting at him? Put yourself in his shoes as a human being, right? He's been on the road several times. Some character has tried to kill him. A character that looks exactly like you. In fact, he thinks you are the one who tried to kill him. Why is he thinking that way? You know why? He's a human being. You've been driving around all the time. People have been trying to shift you. You also get hyped up. That's why we lock our door. That's why we have windows. That's why we have security systems. Right? And of course, some characters who like gold has communicated to us how dangerous it is to live without a security system. And then we buy it and they become very wealthy and very powerful. We become poor every day. So the content is very important. We call it what? You gotta know what you're gonna talk about. In the paper you write, you gotta think, what am I gonna write about? What am I gonna talk about? If you don't, let me tell you, it's not gonna work. Once you have created a thesis, then you move to the next step, which is antithesis. Anti-thesis. And because we are finished, and now my policy is always, doctor, if you allow me
Oh yeah, you
to
can
take a break.
Okay.
All right? 5 minutes break, and then we'll come to antithesis.
Okay.